What's wrong? 5. Saya.
It's not like I know the ways. Straight out here, push on the front page, and it was till I need stay. Only been over this shit. Yeah. I sell the bus, I need some aliens. I could get some phones, but if I don't know for being bricks. It's this bitch gon' catch a damn drip. It's just all the plastic chips and watch the feature. This nigga coming around the Skittles, he has the feature. Everyone that said I don't need no phone, that can easy. She asked me, don't you do that silly, that's a lean. I'm losing good, I say get purple, they gon' dream it. I said we can't go with 60 niggas, nothing like look at that fake, I'm even alive. I said we can go with 60 niggas, nothing like I don't know me, try to start the right. So I just if I do this shit without a ride, don't get to get to the studio, bring that flame, don't need a light. Even though she kinda cool, but on my side, I'm doing alright. Now you know this shit's what I need, when it first movie. I feel I'm for a lot of friends, and I'm on jewelry. I'm driving that bag, you know, I'm like, no one. I've been for some bloody stuff that support. So like this shit that be getting boring. This bitch kinda bad, I might end up my name. Some 30s will got me, might just see me soon. I can see no chance, see the point. So I'm saying, Michael trading out, I'm going. Still the trading, alright.
Damn, bro, why y'all niggas keep doing that?
I know I'm not selling up. That way it's so blue, you look like you're selling them. I see some shit in this, never understand. I know you feel what's on my drip, I'm from the band. Yeah, I did the show, so I think it's in the can. Now I get the dough and then I send it to a man. I get the money and go broke, that one's a plan. How that nigga have my shit and then that nigga land. I keep lying on those jelly niggas for me in a jet. Those shitty things relevant, anything about the fans. I'm up front, so I go dance the town. Bitch, on the ground, might go get some band. I'm riding, I do my amazing on top of landmarks. Stop playing with jewelers and now she's dancing. I'm just in the right running, still scamming. You go around, just huddle and shoot shit on camera. Just out to my tech, I need to deal with Hannah. If they get myself in bunch, I need some endless. I heard you say something, let's go get your products, let's go damn bricks. You see, you don't mind, let's go damn drip. This bitch gon' catch a damn drip. You take all the plastic chips and watch the feed drip. This nigga coming around the Skittles, he has some feature. Everyone that said I don't need no phone, that can eat drip.
Come on, bro, I'm right beside you, bro. That niggas forgot I made the first points, nigga, like...
So we can go with 60 niggas, nothing like this. I don't me and Shrek, we fucking right. I've been up if I do this shit without a right. I go upstairs to the studio, bring that flame, don't need a light.
Passing big, but y'all niggas just fucking that shit all up.
People been watching shit, saying the tough face trying to get hit. Trying to do that stuff, baby, trying to get hit. Yeah, scary ass nigga.
I see him.
It's going to elevate your team. When you tell Josh Allen, right? You know, he has he's 5'5", 3. No. But when we watch him go head to head with Patrick Mahomes, it's only he should have won that game. I don't know if he's not to blame him, but the team. Yeah, that is, you know what I mean? I'm saying for years. That is true. Like, it's current grandma. If he wasn't a first round top 5 pick, he would not have this opportunity. But he has it, and he's done well with it. Yeah, this year. Yeah, that's where he's going to finish. I just hate this whole thing on the wheels. You see how, like I said, some cool league. I don't want to forget, like, Lamar Jackson's percentage and the front wins and all that. I don't want to forget that. You know what I'm saying? That's true. But when it comes to Sam Darnold, y'all forget all about that. You got offense all these years. Since they're at the top hard pick, you saying go sit, monsters, you saying cash, you saying this, you saying that. That's what we talking about it. That's a good one. And now today is man, he stop. Yeah, that's what listen. I know he's a bad quarterback. He's been a bad quarterback. And Lamar's been a great quarterback. Great. I get all that. But if you don't grade him the same. Okay, but you forget. No, I'm saying, if you can forget that Sam Darnold, no doubt. I wish it was like that, Shady, but he holds the standard for Lamar so much higher. And this is why, when we talk about bad players, I keep it the same. I'm going to address it the same like I'm going to address a superstar player. That's all I'm saying. I don't get him to do no passes. But I do think we have to talk about, because Sam Darnold, for this year, for 17 games, has changed. No, you haven't. You haven't. You don't play well. It's a wrap. But you had only couple opportunity. It's the same thing with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is the best example of people wanting to win so well, right? Where people that never pick overall, Every other year, you look at some playoffs, 8 or 9 or something, wherever it may be, you win one game, and then we bragging about you. And then after that game, you're going home. It's the truth. As a child, I've never seen a player in the world who ain't coming for him. He played in the worst division football history.
Baker has.
Then he win. -6, -7, -8.
I was like, to James's point, Baker has.
He's on blood.
Baker has 2 playoff wins.
Bro, Lamar Mayfield.
That's what I'm saying.
I hate to say
That's what
I can't say they got. I'm just saying. No, it's disrespectful to say their names together.
Just say.
Like Lamar Jackson falls off the whole year. And if he has a little game, I get that. But your boy, the whole year is above average, right?
Sure, but they're excellent this year.
They 9-7, 10 win ain't excellent.
But you and Shady, you know this better because at the desk, maybe James, but y'all both played in a lot of playoff games. A lot of playoff games sitting at this desk. And what I know is the playoffs are different. Eli Manning, we would not talk about ever in life if not for playoffs. Like, we wouldn't even mention, he would be a blip in the history of the NFL. But because of the playoffs, you have to talk about Eli first. I have to. Yeah, I would suggest them. You have to talk about him. So playoff conversations are different to me than regular season conversations. We don't mention Joe Flacco, but you have to talk about it. So when I think about the playoffs with Lamar, whether it's Baker or Dak Prescott or anybody else in the playoffs, it's like, in the playoffs, you can put up Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson in the same sense. Yeah. You can talk about them in the same sense. In the playoffs, you can talk about Lamar Jackson and
bro, y'all got a big, bro. Y'all got a big.
Lamar Jackson,
a nasty one too.
And Brock Purdy in the same sense. Because in the playoffs, it's a different season.
Forget about regular season.
The regular season's over there. So that's where I'm like, I don't want to do it either. Like, you kind of have to. So a guy like Lamar Jackson, 6 years straight, taking his team to the playoffs. That shit count for something. For a guy like Sam Darnold has never even done that. I mean, of course, but like it matters to me though. Like even the Baker situation, because when I throw him out there, right, and I get it, he's overcome a lot of different things, but yo, he is who he is, and if you play for the Bucks and that division. I'm being serious with that. Y'all don't take no account for that. Like, yeah, you should win the division. 9-7 one side. 9-7. You know what I mean? When Lamar is playing like in a real division, with real players, real teams.
NFC North.
Y'all don't care about that. Absolutely. Come on, dog.
The postseason.
Imagine the Steelers was in that division.
They don't.
That should be on top of the world. No. Remember, Baker won a pound game in that division as well.
All I'm saying is Lamar Jackson has to get himself
That's
out
what it all
of
comes down to. That's what it all comes down to.
And winning in the playoffs. Winning in the playoffs, he has to get that done because as great as he is, it's not fair. Like Shady said, they shouldn't be in the same.
At all. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.
Playoffs. Instantly?
Instantly.
Are you kidding me? Who's calling these press conferences?
Live from New York. It's a show that's all flat. I don't know.
Come on, man. We're professionals.
No, we're trying to introduce more European.
Not we.
Like soccer guys are like clowns.
Yeah.
So I want to say that from now on. But you don't understand. What does it mean?
It means great. Well done, but it's wild.
What?
Wild. You get in every day at 10:30 in the morning. You have 4.5 hours to write your silly jokes and to figure out the open. What'd you do today?
That close to be honest with you, kind of like it, but then
I love it. Nick, I hate to tell you, this is the year he gets over that. Okay. Not only does he play well in the playoffs, he leads the Ravens to the Super Bowl. Okay. Not just appearance, victory. Okay. Lamar Jackson has been so good this year that it's hard for me to see him, and he has. He's probably been argued. He's struggled in the playoffs. He's great against Houston, I thought. Yeah, but for the most part, he struggled. Well, years ago, but still.
And he's been so good. He's also got Derrick Henry, who obviously is going to help, and he's got better receivers. Even Zay Flowers might be out, but now
Zay Flowers should be back. You would hope for the tough playoff game against Buffalo and then maybe against Kansas City.
Absolutely. So I do think he overcomes it, and he overcame Pittsburgh. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. You did, and he admitted, I got a monkey off my back, and he played great. That was the first time in his 6 games against the Steelers that he had a passer rating over like 80.
Yeah, it was his first even good game against Pittsburgh, and it was a great game.
So I do. Let me get your quote. The Oxford language and looked up nervous, and they had 23 synonyms, and antsy was not one.
What were the synonyms when you looked up antsy? Because I bet
nervous wasn't one. Okay. Fidgety, jumpy, restless.
Okay.
Here's the thing: even if you are right, I'll play along. Yeah. Let's say it's nervous.
Well, yeah.
The great ones have to get over that, and I think he's a great one.
I do too.
And I remember another great one who used to get fidgety and nervous and had some meltdowns in the biggest games. And his first trip to the NBA Finals, couldn't hit the broadside of the ball, shot 35%. His next, a couple years later, big playoff game against Boston's Big Three. A meltdown that was inexplainable to people. Then he gets to the finals and in Miami and plays against Dallas. I thought they definitely should have won that series, and he melted down. And I'm, of course, talking about the great LeBron James, but he had to do some soul searching, and he got over. So the notion that, you're a creative killer, you can't, if you get nervous in a big match, you'll never get over. LeBron is Exhibit A, and I think Lamar will be Exhibit B.
So let me just respond to the LeBron thing quickly, and then I'll say some stuff that I think you'll agree with. And I think you'll agree with the LeBron thing. LeBron definitely, prior to winning his first championship, had some really low playoff moments. Most notably, I don't think the 07 finals when he was 22 is even anywhere close to the same category of the 2011 finals where he was the best player in the world and refused to take shots. But he also had some crazy high playoff moments along the way.
He did.
He had the 48 special, getting that team to the finals, averaging 38 in the series in the Eastern Conference. That's right, they lost all that. That, I think you would agree, has not been Lamar's best.
No, other than the one game against Houston.
Right. Prior to that game against Houston, he never had a playoff game with a passer rating of 80. Never had one. For his playoff career, is not only a losing record, it's just the one really good game and 4 really awful games and 1 mediocre game. So I do appreciate Lamar, in my opinion, confirming what I've been saying. Which the reason I get so frustrated with the reaction to my Lamar Jackson opinion is not just because it was an opinion shared by a lot of people after last year's playoffs and then changed based on a regular season that I think everyone after the playoffs said, I've got to see him do it in the playoffs, and the playoffs haven't started yet. But also because, to me, it is so obvious and not a singular indictment on Lamar. A lot of the greatest athletes we've ever seen get tight in the big spots. And a quarterback that is universally accepted as one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks ever. And Lamar, with the 2 MVPs and maybe a third, is at this point one of the 15 greatest ever and climbing that list, is Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning's playoff trajectory, we said it, Lamar's 2-4, passer rating of 75-ish for the playoffs. Peyton Manning's first 6 playoff games looked like this. But that's good and bad. And here's why I don't think this is the year Lamar gets over the hump. Peyton Manning never got over. Peyton Manning, for his career in the playoffs, was a 500 player with an 87 rating compared to winning 70% of his games with a 97 rating. 2 Super Bowls. Right. The year they won the Super Bowl, he had 3 touchdowns, 7 picks in the playoffs. He always got tight. Now, he was such a great regular season player. that he got so many bites at the apple. And he got to 4. And, you know, 1 year you have a great defense with Denver. 1 year you have an amazing running game and pretty good defense with the Colts. And it all works out. So I... $45-15-5, and from that moment forward, won 4 titles. I don't. I think Lamar. I also think one day he'll win a championship, and maybe he'll win
because of him. I mean,
the thing is this: when the Colts won,
all you gotta do is win. Elway wasn't his Super Bowl stats.
And so, like, when the Colts won in 06, they won that Super Bowl because of Peyton Manning. Because they would have been nowhere close to being a Super Bowl team without him getting there in the regular season and making a few key postseason plays. But he still wasn't Peyton Manning in those playoffs. And so that's why the reason I get frustrated a bit is not with you guys, and I really do, I think, a pretty good job of not listening to or reading mentions or caring what the internet says about me. But the Lamar thing bothers me because it feels like people think I'm being unfair, when I think they are assigning an indictment that I'm not. I don't think it is that rare for an all-time great player to get tight in the playoffs. Dan Marino did, Peyton Manning did. Peyton's brother Eli was actually the opposite. He was a mediocre regular season player in all accounts, but actually got better in the playoffs. That's why I bring up the Harden stuff or the Aaron Judge stuff. Like, we see it all the time in sports. And that's what I've seen from Lamar throughout his career. And now he's putting words to, I get antsy. Like, he's saying, I feel different going into these games and it affects my play.
Here's why I think one, I like him acknowledging.
Sure.
Like, and everything he said this year, I think his leadership's been great. The things he said, and I totally agree. Everything, I mean, obviously his whole career, he's been doubted. He can't do this. He can't do that. And all the way up to negotiating his own contract, he has overcome. And this year, this is the first year, Nick, where I think he's actually an elite passer. I'm not saying he's Mahomes or Joe Burrow necessarily, but I think he has become a very good passer. And I think in the past, like with LeBron, part of some of LeBron's problems, at least like San Antonio series, couldn't shoot.
Sure.
And I think Lamar really he certainly wasn't a great passer. He was a good passer, but a great runner. And that's why I think he's improved so much. And then, like I said, Henry, and I think he proved something against Pittsburgh. We'll see.
In that popular narrative, Lamar can't be the MVP because the training running back Derrick Henry was almost too good. Because the Ravens offense, not the Josh Allen.
Overriding factor necessarily, but it should be part of the equation. However, if you do make it the only factor, or at least the number one factor, it can lead to some embarrassment. And I point to Shaq and Kobe. They, over their 8 years together, kind of, worked against each other. I don't mean personally, but people like, well, Shaq's got Kobe. That's why they won 60 games. And Kobe's got Shaq. They each only have one, universally regarded as top 11, 12 players of all time. They have 2 championships, 2 MVPs, one each. Steve Nash has as many MVPs as Shaq and Kobe.
Let me
his had to wait till Shaq was gone.
Right.
Let me shoot that shit.
Kind of right before Kobe became a super duper star.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once they, during the whole time they were together, when they were both super duper stars, neither one really came that close to winning MVP.
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
That's where you have to be careful.
For sure.
And here's what I'll say with Lamar and Derrick Henry, why it shouldn't, and you guys know, I think Josh Allen will win. I'm not going to raise the course when he does, because I get it. But I think Lamar has been so good. And in the past, I take history into account. When Mahomes won his first MVP, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce were also first-team All-Pro. And they weren't quite viewed as they are, but Kelce, obviously, arguably the best tight end ever, and Tyreek, a Hall of Fame receiver. When Tom Brady won his first MVP, that's the first year he got Randy Moss. And Brady's numbers had not been close to what they were that year with Moss.
Yeah.
Like, he almost doubled his career high in touchdowns. He had 28 was his career high in touchdowns. He went 50. Almost had 5,000 yards for the first time. It was the first time he had a passer rating over 92.
And it was
117. Like, so I think in the past we have, and obviously Mahomes has had Kelsey his whole career in those MVPs.
So do you think, though, that